Good evening and welcome to the KCR Simulators F4 US Esports Championship. We are from my home track, beautiful Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, known for years as the most competitive in the US, and we're glad to welcome you. My name is John Phippen. I'm the spokesman for the series and the track announcer at Mid-Ohio, and I'm joined in the commentary box by Austin Knight. Hey, Austin.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's great to be here once again at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and especially for the KCR Simulators F4 US Championship. Last round before we go to the fan vote round, which is going to be very exciting because none of us know what's going to happen. Only we will know at the end of this week. So last actually scheduled race before we head into the final round.
Exactly right, and you'll be able to vote for that fan favorite. Voting will start tomorrow morning, and as we did with the Formula Regional Esports Championship, they'll be narrowed down based on votes to 4 different regional groups of tracks, and then a process of elimination will determine where we're going to race for the final race of the season. And it's interesting, the timing, because literally the day after next weekend's finale, these drivers will be heading to this very track, Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, as we kick off our season IRL at Mid-Ohio, as both the Formula Regional and the F4 US Championships will be sharing the track with the Trans Am Series as well as the SVRA. So as of this moment, it is still a non-spectator event, but I spoke with some folks at the track just today, and they are in negotiations with the governor's office in the state of Ohio to try to relax the social distancing regulations enough to allow spectators to join us for our first event of the year. So keeping our fingers crossed that we'll have spectators at the track. But turning our attention back to this evening's action, Muhammad Ibrahim, who is the man on a mission, looking like the provisional pole sitter right at the moment. He's already won twice this year, winning at the first round at Indianapolis and then backing that up with a win at Homestead on the road course. I love it. Thank you to Marco Barbonero, who is providing these magnificent pictures from cameras of his own design, but also with expert commentary, because Austin, is it fair to say that you ended your racing career here?
Yes, 40 yards after the IndyCar start line.
Heading down into turn 4 is where you caught a wheel in the face, basically.
Yes, I can give you the play-by-play right now. So imagine going much slower right here and me getting sideswiped right there. And see that wall on the right side? Yeah, right there.
Kabam.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the rest of that day is a little hazy to you, I'm told. So
I woke up in the hospital. That's all I know.
Well, I hope it doesn't bring back bad memories for us to be back at Mid-Ohio. But Quinlan Law has taken over the top spot in the number 22 machine. 1:16.91 is his quickest time, and just 4/1000ths of a second behind Victor Anderson. Those two cars with very similar livery, so once again they're clustered near the front. Victor has been on the podium twice already this year, finishing second at Indianapolis and third at Homestead. As we mentioned, Muhammad Ibrahim, a 2-time winner and the points leader, ahead of Simon Sykes by 21 points heading into these final 2 races. So Muhammad can definitely put his stamp on this championship if he has a good finish here at this race tonight. Quinlan Law, third quick. Alessandro Di Tullio in the orange number 14 is fourth quick. And Mackay Stevens rounding out the top 5 in the about halfway through this qualifying session.
Little bit of debacle on the front straight between those 2 cars. That was Dominic Livernoy, one of those cars who was just caught out the end of his qualifying lap, as that's the 48 of Luke Welcome, who was the hardest charger last race. One of the tied cars for the hard charger award.
Luke got the 1 hour of coaching with our reigning Formula Regional champion and the former F4 champion as well, Dakota Dickerson, who is in the field. Dakota is racing here with us this weekend, as he has been for the last several races, not to score points, but just to get some track time in. And the winner of the Hard Charger Award, the driver who makes up the most positions from their qualifying position to their finishing position, wins an hour of free online coaching with our champion.
All the drivers racing are Formula 4 drivers, past, future, or present right now. So most of the guys on the grid have a intention in running in the F4 series in real life, or are running in the F4 series in real life.
Many have already announced their team affiliation, so a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces coming into the F4 Championship this year. It is the first step in the 5-step FIA ladder, all ending in Formula One. And we're so proud to have the 2 bottom steps of that ladder here in North America, with the F4 US Championship is now in its 5th season, and then the Formula Regional, formerly F3 Championship, coming into its 3rd season of competition.
And that's followed by International F3, F2, and then the Holy Grail F1.
There you go. Mohammed Ibrahim retakes the top spot and got it clear by about 1/3 of a second over Mackay Stevens in the 9 car, who's up to 2nd spot. So that's a good place to see Mackay. That's as high as we've seen him in one of these qualifying sessions. Quinlan Lall hanging in there in a podium position, and 3rd, Victor Anderson, the Swede, in the 20 car just behind him in 4th spot. Now Alessandro Di Tullio moves up into 2nd spot, closes within about 0.2 of a second of Mohammed Ibrahim's session leading time, as we're down to about 1.5 minutes in this qualifying session. This week we didn't have enough entries to do a pre-qualifying session on Monday night, so this is the first official qualifying session these drivers are contesting with this week, so we'll see if that shuffles up the field just a little bit.
Yeah, the purpose of the pre-qualifying was to cap the field at 33 drivers, but after 3 straight rounds of drivers unable to get up to that 33 mark, we decided that we would remove the pre-qualifying to ease our minds here up in the organizations of this stuff, and just see how many show up today. We actually have, oh my goody ants, that is Alexi Powell bucking around the going into the keyhole and just taking a ride.
Coming through turn 1, this is a pretty common place to go wide. He took a little too much curb, and it is really rough here, as those track cuts there are much higher than the surrounding turf. And so if you run over one of them at speed, you're going to go for a bit of a bumpy ride.
Yeah, he also went skipping over the oval, which is probably the weirdest oval I've ever driven on in iRacing, but it's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, that the keyhole section, the keyhole end of the oval is really unlike any other oval in the world, I think, with that track falling away down into the exit of that turn. So makes for a lot of fun. When the track was reconfigured, repaved several years ago, they built that half-mile oval in, and with the thought of using it. It's never been used for official competition that I'm aware of, but some folks have practiced on it, and certainly anything is possible where iRacing is concerned. As we're coming to the checkered flag for this qualifying session, at the moment, Ibrahim is your provisional pole sitter. Di Tullio, 1/10 of a second back in 2nd. Victor Anderson still out on track.
Air quotes.
There he is now, just coming across the line.
Quinlan Law sniped 3rd.
Quinlan Law currently 3rd quick. Mackay Stevens, who put in a good run. We'll see if he's got anything. There's Jeremy Fairbairn coming across the line. He'll stay in 8th spot, it looks like.
Enzo is finishing up his lap right now. Let's get a quick replay of why Victor Anderson was off the track. Coming to the end of the... Oh, it's just a late turn-in.
Yep. Turn 11 is a very tricky one. It's blind as you come up over that rise, and it's very easy to overcook it. I have spun there myself in a school car, so that doesn't say much because I've spun just about everywhere in a school car at Mid-Ohio. There's a reason I talk about racing instead of doing it.
I think that puts us both in the same category.
Yeah, right, exactly. Omar Khan, the last car, still out on track. Currently 23rd. On the rev limiter as he comes through the kink and down into turn 4, the best passing zone on the racetrack. And qualifying is over, so we'll wait for the field to settle in. We'll begin to grid these cars for the 30-minute race from a Formula One style standing start. Mohamed Ibrahim, your pole sitter once again, with Alessandro Di Tullio alongside in row 1, Quinlan Law and Victor Anderson in row 2, Mackay Stevens and Chase Outcalt in row number 3. Row 4 has Hunter Yaney and Jeremy Fairbairn. Row 4 has Enzo Deligny, Enzo making his first start with us here tonight. Christopher Tarhan in the 23 alongside him in row 5. Row 6 has Alexander Kariba and Marco Kachik. Alex Powell and Kenneth Garcia share row 7. Aaron Roofs and Luboy Ozaretkovskaya, one of 2 females in the field, are in row 8. Dominic Livernoy and Kent Vaccaro in row number 9. Frank Mossman and Luke Welcome pick up row 10. Row 11 has Emerald Hopkins, our other female, in the 10 car, and Rodrigo Gutierrez. And row 12 has Omar Khan and our defending champion Dakota Dickerson, Jack Harrison, alone in row 13.
Standing start is going to be extremely difficult for the guys at the back of the field because they're starting up on that turn. So with hot tires and low grip, expect a little bit chaotic start for those guys and girls back there. But it's going to be a very straightforward start for the top, I would say, 15 cars at the front. Usually they don't start here at Mid-Ohio from a standing start. Usually they start on by the kink area.
Well, actually, for our classes, we do start on the front straight, but we move the start line a little further down the front straightaway so everybody can get on the straightaway itself. But hey, that's close enough for iRacing. Just waiting on the lights. We can see them standing by. Here comes the countdown. 5 lights, they'll go out, and we are away. And there's the jump from Mohamed Ibrahim, and he gets a good, clean start, not a lot of wheel spin, and he's going to lead the parade into turn number 1. Dueling side by side, Tullio and Quinlan Law with Victor Anderson right behind him as they begin to form single file heading down toward the keyhole for the first time.
It was a great start. We had one driver spun around at the end. We were expecting a more chaotic start, but it was actually a fairly clean start.
Yeah, the cleanest we've had so far this season. Everybody got through the first couple of turns cleanly. Now this is where it gets exciting, as Austin will remind everybody. But side by side, Quinlan Law and Alessandro Di Tullio down into turn 4. Law goes to the outside. He'll have the preferred line coming at the top of the hill at 5, and he's going to hang on down to turn 6.
What a beautiful... As Alexander Koriba in the wall.
Right at the top of the hill there at turn 5. And
we got to go by.
Di Tullio got sideways, and he picked up...
We have a car on its roof.
Yeah, a car on its top right there, just coming out of turn 9.
Is that Mackay Stevens?
Mackay Stevens, it may well be.
Oh my goodness. Got just launched up in there like a space-sized rocket. Let's get a replay of that right now. Micah in the 9 car.
Yeah, there he is. And yeah, just wrong place, wrong time, as Di Tullio got a little sideways, and Mackay tried to find a way along the inside, and then they interlocked wheels.
You know, that actually reminds me of a sports car incident I've seen here in that exact same turn where a small single-seater car with a roll cage got just absolutely just hurtled over us. We got a giant chaos at the back of the field as they're coming across at the end.
Coming across turn 13 onto the front straightaway. There's a couple good battles. The 27 and the 7, Jack Harrison and Frank Mossman. Harrison up 16 spots from where he qualified. So Jack Harrison doing a great job in leading the hard charger parade by a bunch. His next closest pursuer is right in front of him on the racetrack, Luke Welcome, who's picked up 12 spots so far.
We're looking back from Jeremy Fairbairn's. I don't.
For wing.
Yeah, I thought it was just me, but he's actually pulling away. So, weight reduction.
Yeah, weight reduction and a little less downforce on the back, obviously. Ibrahim has set fast lap of the race and drawn away to a 1 second advantage. So Muhammad definitely showing his stripes here.
Yeah, Mid-Ohio plays to the strengths because overtaking comes at a premium here. Because there's only really about 1-2 good spots at overtaking, and that is one of them. Sliding it in to turn 1, Dakota Dickinson showing us why he is the defending champion in FR Americas and a former F4 champion.
Obviously the best passing opportunity coming up right now at the tail end of the straightaway here, as we see it, watching the battle between the 27 of Jack Harrison and Luke Welcome. And then a little further up the field, there's Dakota Dickerson, Jeremy Fairbairn, and Alexander Kariba going 3 wide into turn 4. The 15 car of Kenneth Garcia right there to pick up the pieces if any of those drivers have a miscue. This is the section of the track that's pretty much a single file affair, as these drivers need to kind of be patient in this section. And a lot of people get impatient right here at turn 9. Dakota Dickerson stuffing it down the inside of Alexander Kariba. Now he's right behind with the 8 car of Kariba just behind him. And there's Jeremy Fairbairn minus the engine cover and rear wing. Still doing a pretty good job of maintaining his pace, but I think he's going to make a call to the pits here. Yep, he's in to affect some repairs.
Yeah, he's also got a damaged front wing as well, but I'm actually surprised he stayed out that long.
Indeed.
I guess he was doing some pretty all right pace compared with the guys with an actual rear wing, so I'm expecting him to give us a little bit of show near the end of the race where his car is back to 100%.
Ibrahim and Lal have marched away from the rest of the field right now. Ibrahim about a second in front of Quinlan Lal, and then another 3 seconds back to Victor Anderson, who's got his hands full with Hunter Yaney in the 12 car running in 4th spot. Then another couple seconds back to Enzo Deligny making his first start with us as we ride with Hunter Yaney right now. He's running in 3rd spot, trying to chase down the Swede Victor Anderson and pick up another spot. Hunter looking to get his first season started. He has aged up to the minimum age of 15, which is the youngest that a driver can join the F4 U.S. Championship. Formula Regional drivers must have open wheel experience and be at least 16 years of age. So Hunter, one of our younger drivers, looking to make his debut here in about 10 days' time. That's a pretty good battle behind for 4th, 5th, and 6th, as Yaney, Enzo, and Alex Powell all running in a bunch.
Yeah, 5 laps in. I think we should talk about the hardest charger award, because that award is pretty much the most talked about award we have here. Jack Harrison, plus 18 spots from the start.
Dakota Dickerson, not eligible for the hard charger, is up 14. Then Luke Welcome, right behind Jack on track by maybe 3.5 seconds. He's picked up 12. Frank Mossman has picked up 10. But Jack Harrison running away with it here for the hard charger if he can maintain.
Yeah, Jack started from the very end of the grid, and that clean start must have been very concerning for him, and he was going to have to actually get the elbows out on track, but that chaos at the back of the grid also helped him a lot. This is Rodrigo. Oh, he's taking a spin.
Yep. Just as the car comes off the back straightaway, it's easy to take a little too much pace through turn 4, and then he just didn't have enough grip to turn it in for turn 5. Dakota Dickerson having a great battle here. Dakota in the 54 car, just passing Frank Mossman and down into turn 1. That's a bit of a power move on Dakota's part.
There's a bit of understeer too on the apex. Saw the car just sliding. It almost looked like he was wheel hopping through turn 1 right there. And you kind of want to avoid that curb on turn 1 because it will upset the car and kind of shoot you off into the grass.
Exactly right. Dakota making his way down toward the kink with Frank Mossman in tow, and he's chasing down Luke Welcome in the 48 car just ahead. Meanwhile, Marko Kacic in the 5 car back in 23rd position after some early issues.
Oh, dipped a wheel in the grass. Upset the car, sent it a bit wide and way wide into the tire barrier right there.
Just a little nudge of the tire barrier. Once again, troubles for the 14 car of Tertulio, who started very well up front, but had that really unfortunate incident back at turn number 9, and he's now playing catch up, but he stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, staying on the lead lap is very crucial right now as he's looking down to the inside of Omar Khan. They're going to go side by side for the battle of the 15th. Tertulio swings it around the outside, and oh! Well, my heart just left my body right there because...
that was a little close, yeah.
Yeah, and oh, a little bit of touch between Wilcom and Dakota Dickerson. As they go side by side, Dakota through the middle into the keyhole. A little bit of a netcode tap between those two drivers.
Dakota started dead last and working his way up. He's picked up 16 spots. Again, not eligible for points, but a great replay of that as he carried good speed through the carousel turn, and now he's got the preferred inside line as they head down into turn number 1. You lose a lot of corner speed there, obviously, because he's not able to widen out that turn, but he did a good job of keeping Luke Welcome behind him as they hit the brakes for the keyhole turn.
Yeah, there's that slight touch right there. This is kind of master apprentice because Dakota was teaching Luke after he won the Hard Charger Award last week, and he got that 1-hour coaching session with Dakota himself.
Indeed. We're back to the front now with Ibrahim and Lal separated by about a second and a half. Quinlan Lal has just set the fastest lap of the race, however, so we'll see if he's got something in the second 2/3 of this race. We're not even a third of the way in, just about 9 minutes into the 30-minute timed event. So Quinlan Lal, his car coming to him as he's beginning to eat away at that gap by Muhammad Ibrahim, but Muhammad able to control the pace very well from the front. And like I say, he's done that twice already this season, and if he notches a 3rd win, he's going to be in good shape for the championship.
Ooh, Rodrigo Gutierrez facing the wrong side of the road. He's been having a rough day today.
And once again, a little wide there at turn number 9, and then way too much speed into the carousel turn, and dropped the wheel off to the outside, and that causes it to spin. And the grass is slippery.
Yeah. Grass is slippery, and also if you have wing damage, it's going to hurt you as well, which he is struggling with that front right wing a little bit bent up right there.
Saw Kenneth Garcia briefly running in 13th spot. And then we go back to the battle between Victor Anderson and Hunter Yaney.
Luboy and Omar Khan. Big incident for both of them.
Luboy knocked both the front corners off that car. So she's going nowhere fast.
This is heading into China Beach. Marcon going very slow mid-corner, and
yeah. She just tried to stuff it in there, and I don't think he saw her, and that was the reason for the damage. Omar got away with a little less damage, but unfortunately Luboy is going to have to head back to the pits for some damage control. Here's a replay of it from Omar's position as he left his braking a little too late, missed the apex by a bunch, and I think Luboy thought she had an opportunity to stuff it in there, but that gap closed before she could make that pass work.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate for both those drivers. Omar was just having a little bit off rhythm section through that corner, and thought he could try to just recalibrate himself, and you just kind of just lose focus when you're doing there. You just forget about the cars around you, and unfortunately that closed in on both those drivers, and they're both have to go back into the pits now.
Watching a great battle for the final 2 points paying positions. The top 10 positions played points in the FIA standard, 25 for the win, 18 for second, all the way down to a single point for 10th spot. And Alexander Kariba in the 8 and Frank Mossman in the 7 car, duking it out for those final 2 spots. One of the closest battles on the racetrack right now. Less than a second separates those two. A little further up the track, Alex Powell and Jack Harrison Harrison continuing his domination of the Hard Charger Award, up 18 spots, but he's kind of stuck in that 7th spot right now. We'll see if he can find a way around Alex Powell and pick up yet another spot, make that 19, because Dakota right behind him now, up 16 from where he started.
Saw a replay of Jeremy Fairbairn getting very upset over the crest heading into the carousel, and he went around for a ride. Here comes Harrison on Powell, and Powell's just letting him by.
So Alex Powell, is that Luboev again, I think?
No,
Looks
it's
like
Omar Khan.
Oh, that's Omar Khan. Okay, sorry. Similar color scheme.
And Omar stayed out a rear wing. That's a bold decision there.
Yeah, Luboev just behind.
I'm pretty sure she must be smiling after seeing that. It almost gets collected by him again.
She is the last car on the lead lap until now, as things have just updated. So Christopher DeHaan in 17th, the final car on the lead lap. We're back with Quinlan Law, as he's not able to make much of an inroad into that 1.5 second lead of Muhammad Ibrahim, the 2-time winner in this season, and looking to make it 3. Victor Anderson about 4 seconds back, checking lap times. Quinlan is the quickest of the 3, but he's going to need to make up some ground here in the second half of this race if he's going to challenge for the win. Hunter Yaney just set his fastest personal best at a 16.6, but not quite as quick.
I believe with also with Muhammad's pole today, I believe he's clinched the pole position challenge.
I believe that's true, yes. Well, actually, no, he has 2. Simon Sykes has 2, and Muhammad has 2. Simon not running with us tonight, so if either of them notches the pole in the finale, that will be the winning stroke. So right now they're tied. And once again, Omar Khan soldiering on without a rear wing. Kind of in the
He's
middle
just
of
going to
this.
stay out. He's going to stay out of the way, but Victor Anderson actually putting his car in front of Omar Khan's to avoid the draft going to Anderson. So that was smart.
Yep. Alessandro DiTullio in the 14 after that early issue. And once again is having trouble at turn 9. He's just not getting that turn to work for him. I've had many drivers tell me that turn 9 is the last place at Mid-Ohio you learn to go fast. It's an easy one to get wrong because the track falls away just after the exit. And so you can spin there quite easily. And it's one of those corners you have to kind of sneak up on over the course of your practice times to find the quick way around. Riding with Hunter Yaney as he's trying to hunt down Victor Anderson. They're dueling for the final step on the podium.
Yeah, when you were
go ahead.
When you're talking about turn 9, when I was learning the track, everyone I said turn 9, avoid turn 9. If that pedal on the right, don't even touch it when you're coming into turn 9. When you're at the base of at the exit of turn 9, then you can just barely touch it on the throttle. But going to turn 9, just lift.
Hunter Yaney late on the brakes down into turn 4 and making up some good exit speed out of that turn to get over to the top of the hill and plunging back down to turn 6. And he's within a couple car lengths of Victor Anderson. And that gap is getting a little bit slower, or shorter, should I say. Again, Hunter picking up good pace through turn 9. And this blind turn, this is the second fastest turn on the racetrack, turn 11 here. And it's easy to get wrong. You can hear him being patient on the throttle till about there is when you want to jump on the loud pedal, or you'll just scrub off a whole bunch of speed. And that lapper in front of Victor Anderson is going to be a factor here in this battle, because I think it's going to slow Victor down just a little bit.
Yeah, that is Luboev in front of him. So Victor Anderson is actually going to get a whole heap of draft as they head into the keel. Luboev going to stay around the outside as Anderson and Yaney nose to tail right now, coming out of the keyhole. And Luboev is still there on the outside of Yaney, and Yaney 2 laps in a row has a lapped car just on his outside this time. And is Anderson going to do exactly the same thing as he did last time? Yes, he did, but Luboev gives him the room.
Great battle. Again, this is for third and fourth, the final step on the podium. Luboev learning the track, obviously, and getting herself up to speed, going to school a bit behind Victor Anderson and Hunter Yaney.
This is Jeremy
A little
Fairbairn
deeper in the pack. Emerald Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Jeremy Fairbairn, yeah. Emerald having a good run. She's up to 14th right now. Jeremy Fairbairn has had his share of off-track incidents, but he's sticking right behind Emerald as they make their way down this long back straightaway with the dog leg right.
Yeah, Fairbairn's getting a good draft on Emerald. He's looking down to the inside, and great thing about this upcoming quarter as Emerald breaks extremely early, not wanting to risk any sort of incident between these two, as we see Luboev just
off once again, yeah,
going off
there at turn one. Getting a replay of that move as Hunter Yaney chasing down Victor Anderson coming into turn 9. Just a little wide as he gets four wheels off to the grass. That is usually a disaster when that happens, but a good job of quick hands on Hunter Yaney's part to keep that.
Oh, Anderson's off. Anderson's off.
Indeed. Just
right
too much.
At turn 9 once more.
Yep, it's definitely the place that gets a lot of action. And sadly, he carried too much speed into that turn. Here we're going to get a replay of riding along with him. He's got the lapped car in front of him, who may be getting out of the way.
Oh, he got
putted. The lapper hit him. That's what happened.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's just unfortunate.
I thought it was a peculiar place to see the car because before the hump, but I didn't even notice that the lapped car, Rodrigo Gutierrez, was there as well, as his car was pushing. He got into the grass trying to avoid it, and unfortunately spun the wheels and collected Victor Anderson. Oh, he's going to be wanting to get into his trailer as fast as he can at the end of the track if this was a real race, because some helmets might be thrown.
Exactly. That's Hunter Yaney now all alone in third spot. He's about 9 seconds behind Quinlan Law in second, and about 8 seconds in front of Enzo Deligny, who is currently in the fourth spot on debut with us. So good job for Enzo. I wonder who he's named after. Anyway, Quinlan Law is beginning to chip away at Muhammad Ibrahim's lead. It's down to about a second and a third. It was up close to 2 seconds so a few laps ago. So we're into the final 10 minutes of this race. And can Quinlan Law, the New Jersey native, find a little more pace here? He just set his personal best, so he has saved some car for the end of this as we go back to this lead battle, and he's visibly closer.
Yeah, this battle's not only the battle for first place, it's also the battle for the championship, because if Muhammad wins today, he secures the championship. But if Quinlan wins today, the fight for the championship is still going on into the final round.
There you go. Yeah, Muhammad has a 21-point lead over Simon Sykes, and if he leaves here with a 25-point lead, then obviously, or 26-point lead, obviously, no one can surpass him, and he would clinch the championship. So Quinlan's going to try to deny him of that pleasure. Meanwhile, Dakota Dickerson closing down on Alex Powell in the battle for sixth. Dickerson 17 places from where he qualified, but Jack Harrison continues his great charge. 20 spots he's picked up, as Alex Powell goes a little wide at the top of the hill, and that opens the door for our reigning Formula Regional champ. Quinlan Law just set fast lap of the race, as he has definitely saved something for the end.
Beginning his charge, he's got a bit of clear air in front of him and two lapped cars battling in front of the leaders, so that might cause a little bit of a comeuppance up at the front.
Yeah, exactly right. Lap traffic is all part of the game, and learning how to negotiate it safely is one of the skills that any driver needs to learn, and these young drivers picking their way through slower traffic. Ibrahim now with a couple slow cars right in front of him, and Quinlan Law licking his lips, seeing the leader get slowed down just a bit, getting balked by that 10 of Emerald Hopkins.
Oh, there's it. Oh, this could be it. Ibrahim. Both those cars going wide. Ibrahim had to take evasive action, and Quinlan Law is right now on the diffuser of Muhammad Ibrahim. The fight for the championship is within a tenth that they've touched.
Through turn number 9, Law's going to try to go around the outside of the carousel. That almost never works, but it will set him up for a good run onto the front straightaway. He may get just a little more pace down into turn 1. Great battle that we're watching here. This is for the lead and for potentially the championship with 7 minutes to go. As Ibrahim does a nice job through turn 1. Law taking it a little bit wide. Again, following a car that closely takes some air off his front wing, so he's going to have a little less grip in the front than he would if he were running in clear air.
All the cars running in a fixed high downforce setup, so everyone is on the same level. And you don't want to be losing a lot of downforce, especially if you're just buried in that dirty air, as Law and Abraham are still 1-2 now with 1 second to spare, as this is the three-way battle for 14th, as Victor Anderson trying to make up for his bad luck today, making a good move underneath Emerald Hopkins for 15th, and now closing in on Christopher Charan.
Ibrahim seems to have solidified his lead just a bit now, as it's back up to about 9/10 of a second. So Law's charge blunted just a bit by that traffic, but they've got clear air in front of them for a bit. So with 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes remaining, it's now or never for Quinlan Law to deny Muhammad Ibrahim the championship.
This is Aaron Roofs and Mossman in the battle for 9th. Aaron looking down to the inside. That door was closed hard by Mossman. And this is for the final 2 points paying spots. And Aaron, he's just going for any sort of move that he could see.
Aaron did score points in the first round at Indianapolis. He came home in 9th spot and picked up a couple spots. He's not been able to back that up with another points paying finish, so he's looking to repeat that effort here and get up to 9th if he can get around Frankie Mossman.
Yeah, Aaron, one of the F4 hopefuls trying to get into the F4 series. Won the Hard Charger Award in round 1 after starting last on the grid.
Picked up 14 spots in the course of that race. As we go back to this battle at the front, as it's staying just about.
Ooh, Mossman.
Mossman has spun it, so that promotes Aaron Roofs up into 9th position.
Did he hit that curb? Yes,
yep,
he did.
Just got a little too much curb.
It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look as big as a curve as it does from TV, but when you ride in the sim or on the track, that curve is like a mountain.
Yep. And it just upsets the car so easily, and at one of the fastest turn on the racetrack, and it's so easy to get it wrong. 23, 12, and 10, a great battle between Christopher Tarhan, Emerald Hopkins. The 12 car is a lap down.
Is still driving without a rear wing.
Does he know that? Position. Yeah.
Does he know that his wing is off?
Maybe his mirrors got knocked off too, and he can't tell. Anyhow, Ibrahim beginning to stretch his advantage back out to about a second, as we're coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Enough for about 3 more laps, I would say, depending on how they catch the stripe. So Quinlan Law, if he's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat, now is the time. His last lap was only 0.03 of a second faster than Ibrahim, and he's going to have to pick up ground in bigger chunks if he's going to deny Muhammad Ibrahim the championship.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go, and what's looking like it's a fairly clean track ahead of him. That's Jeremy Fairbairn ahead of the leader. So let's ride on board with him and look back at this battle for the championship. And, well, that's one way to let the leaders by.
Yeah. Very gentlemanly of Jeremy to let them by as he becomes the first car a lap down. Lal has closed it down to about 0.7 of a second, but Muhammad just set his fastest lap of the race on that last circuit, a 16.2. I think Quinlan still holds the fastest race lap by a
Yes, he
slim
does.
margin. But
By a slim
0.04 of a second. Yeah.
yes.
So
Which is
getting down to
incredibly
it
close
here.
by these two guys. And Ibrahim, big slide through turn 9. You just see that giant wobble from the rear end of the car, just getting upset right there because when you just go over that crest, the car loses all mechanical grip and is just relying on downforce, which makes that turn just so tricky, especially in a car that doesn't have a lot of downforce. With these cars, it's slightly easier to go over that turn, but it's still very difficult. And especially if the track is hot.
Exactly. We'll get this lap and one more, I'm guessing, as we've got just about a minute and a half remaining, and lap times are running in the 1:16s. As you can see, it's 79 degrees air temperature, track temperature at 85, which, as track temperatures go, not particularly hot.
It's a very nice day here in Ohio.
Exactly. Chamber of Commerce weather here for the KCR Simulators F4 US Esports Championship.
As Omar Khan finally goes into the pits, as Ibrahim sliding around that
tires
upper
may be
corner.
going away on Ibrahim's car, and that's allowed Quinlan Lal to be resurgent here, as I think they'll be coming to the white flag this time by, as we've got just under a minute.
This could be closing moments for Muhammad and the championship unless Quinlan Lal has anything to say about it. He's putting on a charge right now. Half a second separates these two cars in the battle for the lead here with 1 lap to go at Mid-Ohio for the KCR Simulators F4 Championship.
The championship could be settled right here and now if Muhammad Ibrahim is able to maintain this slim margin over Quinlan Lal. He can clinch.
And he locked up! He locked up!
Quinlan was trying to go around the outside, and there was a spinner right in front of him. I think Ibrahim saw that stalled car, and it caused him to get on the brakes just a little early.
Quinlan Lal had the opportunity, but they both went in the same direction. I think they both locked up going into that corner, into the keyhole, and that is so unfortunate for Quinlan Lal. Opportunity after opportunity presented its way for him, but unfortunately couldn't get the right moment out there. But there is still more opportunities for him.
It's tough to pass in this portion of the course, but it is not impossible. So if Quinlan Lal could find a way, his last opportunity coming up just about now is he would need to be a little bit closer to Ibrahim to try to pull the trigger there into turn 9. He is right on his gearbox, and again, a slower car in front of our leader could play a factor, as it's a short run to the stripe off of the
drag
final turn,
race,
and across the line they go, and it's about a half a car length as Muhammad Ibrahim takes the win. And
well, he wins the championship, and he wins a massive crash going into turn 1.
Trips over a back marker as he was celebrating his victory. Meanwhile,
I
Hunter
don't
Yaney.
think he cares.
Yeah, exactly. Hunter Yaney across the stripe in 3rd spot to round out the podium. Enzo Delaney in the 174, again, making his first start with us. He's about 11 seconds up the road. There's Alexander Kariba running in 8th spot. Enzo's across the line in 4th. Jack Harrison will win the hard charger as he picked up 20 spots for a 5th place finish from last on the grid. We can get a replay of this run to the flag. It's already
a
over
lot of
now.
blocking right there.
Yeah. Ibrahim just went straight after crossing the line.
All of them just decided to go straight on to turn 1.
Exactly. Yeah. Did a little victory celebration. That's a donut in a straight line, I guess.
Yeah. Called Long Johns down here.
Emerald Hopkins finished in 16th spot. Here's the 24 car coming to the line. Rodrigo Gutierrez has had an eventful day as he comes across the line in 20th position. So Muhammad Ibrahim, by our unofficial math, has just clinched the KCR Simulators F4 US Esports Championship with his third victory on the season. Quinlan Law will move up a bit. 18 more points will put him, let's see, won't quite catch Victor Anderson because he was 19 behind Victor coming into this round. So Quinlan will be still in fourth spot, but only a point or so behind Victor Anderson, who will not score points in this round. So Quinlan Law just a point out of third. Simon Sykes, not racing here tonight, was in second spot, so he will not do himself any good.
But all eyes are on Le Champion, Muhammad Ibrahim. But first, I think it's time for our race rundown grid results.
Muhammad Ibrahim, your leader from the pole, as he notched his second pole of the season and took it all the way, lights to flag, to the win. Quinlan Law comes home in second spot, up one spot from where he qualified. Hunter Yaney doing a good job to come home on the podium for the first time this season. Enzo Delaney on his first run with us in the 174 car comes home a strong fourth. Jack Harrison will win the 1 hour of coaching with our champion Dakota Dickerson for coming home in fifth. Dakota comes across in sixth spot, although he doesn't score points. Alex Powell right behind him in the 80 car finishing seventh. Alexander Kariba in eighth. Aaron Roofs matching his best finish of the season in ninth. Kenneth Garcia rounds out the final points paying spot. Actually, Dominic Livernoy will get the 10th place honors as Dakota's result will be removed from the standings. Frank Mossman comes home in 12th position. Victor Anderson recovers for a 13th spot, unfortunately not scoring points. Jeremy Fairbairn down 6 from where he qualified, came home in 14th spot. Christopher Tarhan down 5, comes home in 15th. Emerald Hopkins up 5 from her qualifying position, gets home in 16th spot. Luke Welcome up 3, came home in 17th. Luboy Vozaretkovskaya, after a good start, got caught up in some traffic and ended up in 18th position. Omar Khan just behind her in 19th. Rodrigo Gutierrez, after an eventful day, in 20th position. Alessandro Di Tullio, after showing so much great promise in the early going and with his qualifying performance, unfortunately got caught up in an incident early on, and he finishes 10 laps down. Chase Outcalt finishes 22nd. Marco Kacic in 23rd. Kent Ficcaro in 24th. And Mackay Stevens, also showing good pace in qualifying, comes home in 25th position.
And with that, that concludes the scheduled part of our season as we start to begin the voting for our final round, which you can vote on the F4 America's Instagram page, which starts off with region voting, which puts the north, south, east, and west against each other, and then the winners of the region voting goes to the four tracks from that region to be voted on for the fan vote. So look on the F4 Instagram for more information. But right now, I believe it's time to talk to our Le Champion.
Muhammad Ibrahim making his way into the interview room. Muhammad, congratulations. By our reckoning, I believe you just clinched the championship. Well done for your third win on the season. Is Muhammad there? Technical difficulties at the moment, getting our winner onto the interview microphone.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Muhammad, there you are, my friend. Congratulations. By our reckoning, I believe you just clinched the championship. Good job for your third win on the season.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. It was quite tough out there. It's really nice to win the championship round before the last round. It's really good, and the race was really tough out there. I think this was the most difficult race amongst, I think, out of all the races we have had so far. This is definitely the most difficult one.
Indeed, it's a track that does not give up its secrets easily, and can also be a bit of a traffic monster because the whole backside of the track is really difficult to pass on. But you handled yourself beautifully, and once again, Quinlan put on a great charge there at the end, but wasn't able to get by you. So congratulations again, great job.
Yeah, thank you so much. Quinlan was really attacking me throughout the entire race. He was almost going to get me, but I just managed to keep it there.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations, Muhammad. We don't yet know where we're racing next weekend, but I'm sure we'll see you there, and perhaps you can make it nearly a clean sweep with your 4th victory on the season. But you certainly have done a great job here so far this year, and congratulations not only on the win here at Mid-Ohio, but unofficially at least clinching the championship. Well done.
Yeah, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank the commentators. I would like to thank everyone organizing this event. I would like to thank Amy. I would like to thank USF4 and everyone. Like, it's a really awesome championship. It was really fun. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mohammed. Well done. We'll wait for Quinlan Law to make his way to the microphone. Quinlan, close but no cigar, my friend. 2nd place for the 2nd race in a row. But you definitely kept Muhammad honest. It looked like you were saving some car to be able to have something for him at the end, and you came about as close as you could come. It was about half a car length at the stripe.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, first I want to thank everyone at ARTV and everyone back home as well. But, yeah, for sure, the race was just strategy. You know, it was about – I started 3rd. I got super lucky to have the clear track to do the lap because qualifying was just such a mess with traffic. And then my goal was just to get past – 2nd place, get past into 2nd place. And once we did that, it would just kind of head down, keep the car consistent, try not to slide the tires as much. Watching Muhammad drive, he was sliding the car a lot. So I knew if I could just keep it consistent by the 10-minute mark left in the race, we'd have the car to really charge forward. That was helped out a little bit by traffic, but for sure at the end, even when I was following him on the last laps, he was just completely sliding the car around.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. We rode with you for most of that last couple of laps, and it was clear that he was really struggling to keep the car under him. And like I said, you made a game of it, but unfortunately, just not quite enough.
This track is super difficult to overtake.
Yep.
There was a little bit questionable defensive maneuvers on his part when I was right up behind him, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's racing. I gave it my best shot. And I'm still happy to come 2nd, you know, to show that I have the pace and also to put on a great show for everyone at home. You know, a lot of people watch this and, you know, take time out on their Tuesday evening, and I want to thank them for tuning in.
Well, thank you, Quinlan, for doing such a great job. Again, we don't know where we're racing next week, but we'll look forward to seeing you there, and perhaps you can notch that first win on this season.
Oh, yeah, I'm gunning for that top step. 2 seconds is good, but I'm competitive. I'm here to win, so I'm going to come for the first spot.
All right. Congratulations once again, Quinlan. Thank you. And we'll
you
see you next Tuesday.
Yep. See you then.
Hunter Yaney making his way to the microphone with his best finish on the season. Hunter with a well-fought battle up into 3rd spot.
Well, after 4 great rounds, a champion has been crowned for the KCR F4 championship, but that doesn't mean the championship is over. We still got the Hard Charger award to go for and the Pole Sitter award to go for in the next round, which is going to be decided by the fans over on Instagram in the F4 USA Instagram page. So go over there, all the information you need for the voting, and let's have some fun with some track choices. But as for this round at Mid-Ohio, I say it's been a wonderful race as always.
Exactly so. It's a track that puts on a great show, and I'm a little bit biased, but certainly enjoyed calling this one. So I guess we're not going to get to talk to Hunter after his 3rd place finish, but congratulations to him for his best finish on the season. And again, congratulations to Jack Harrison for winning the KCR Simulators Hard Charger Award for this race. So with that, we will say goodbye. Remember to go to the any of the social media platforms for the F4 US Championship. You can catch all of those on the website, f4uschampionship.com, and cast your votes starting tomorrow morning for your favorite North American track. Any track in North America is eligible, and we'll narrow it down to some finalists, and there'll be a head-to-head battle all the way until Sunday when we make the final determination of where the final round of racing will be. Once again, thanks to Marco Barbadera for these fantastic pictures here from Mid-Ohio. And of course, my cohort and partner in crime in the commentary box, Austin Knight. I'm John Phipp, and thank you so much for being with us. We will see you next Tuesday night for the finale of the KCR Simulators F4 US Esports Championship. Until then, be safe, everyone.